Hey guys, this is Leah Reptilia, and today we're going to talk about crested gecko eggs and how to incubate them. This is my first video on this channel, so if you guys like it and you end up wanting to learn more about my geckos and about my husbandry, go ahead and give me a like and a subscribe because I'll definitely be posting more videos in the future. Let's dive right in. So if you're here, you probably already have a breeding pair of crested geckos, and they probably already laid eggs, so you're wondering what to do with them. Well, the first thing would be to find out if they're fertile or not, and you can do this by candling them, which means you just take them and you hold them in the same position that you found them, which is really important because you don't want to turn a baby over if it is a baby. And you take a light to it and you just kind of shine it through the egg, and if you see veins or even a small O, you can usually see the O pretty soon into gestation. So, you know, if you see any red or anything like that, that's probably a fertile egg, so it's best to either incubate it, or if you're not looking to have babies, freeze it and then throw it out. But if you're looking to have babies, then I would suggest following this guide. So use a substrate such as eco earth or any kind of coconut fiber. What you're going to want to do is dig gently into the bottom of the terrarium, just very gently. A lot of crested geckos like to dig and bury them very deep, so you want to be super gentle when you take that egg out and make sure that you hold it in the same position that you found it in, as to not turn that baby around. You've got your breeding pair, you've got your gecko eggs, you found out they're fertile. The next thing you're going to do is you're going to gather your supplies, which is going to consist of one deli cup, one lid for that deli cup, some hatchite or vermiculite for your egg, and then masking tape and a marker to make sure that you can label your eggs properly. I use like a 12 to 16 ounce deli cup depending on what my boyfriend brings home from culinary school. I'm super grateful that he has that connection so that I'm able to get those containers for free. If you don't have that connection, I'll probably be posting a link soon to a really cheap source for those, because I know that they come in handy and you can just throw them away if they get too nasty. So it's definitely something to keep in mind, and it's also something to buy in bulk because they're totally worth it. Incubating substrate, I use Repashy hatchite just because it works for me and it's what came with my geckos when I got them. So it's perfect for me. You can usually get that stuff anywhere from $9 to $15 at an expo. Usually it comes in a big bag, so it's really economical and you don't usually have to use too much of it per cup. So that's a good thing about crested gecko eggs. So what you're going to do is you're going to take your deli cup and you're going to poke some holes in the lid with a nail, because it works the best for me. And you're going to do that, and then you're going to put about 1 to 2 inches of that hatchite into the deli cup and just kind of nestle the egg in there so that it's not going to move around or anything like that. And if you have multiple eggs, you can also use a pen or a pencil and gently write on the outside which egg it is, so you can keep track of which one's which. Once you've poked holes in it and you put the substrate in it and then you put the egg in it, you just want to put that lid on it and just let it sit for 60 to 120 days depending on it. You want to check up on it every once in a while, make sure that they're nice and moist, because if you see that egg starting to dent, you're going to want to spray it a little bit because that means it's not quite moist enough. Another thing that can happen is if it's too moist, they can mold, and that's not good either. So you just want to, check up on them probably once a week or so and make sure that the eggs are still healthy, nice and round, nice and calcified. You don't want any frail eggs because those can be frail babies too. So just keeping an eye on them, but not bugging them too much, because you have to remember that they are babies in gestation, so they do need, time to kind of bake in the oven, if that makes sense. What you can do for a female after she's laid eggs is definitely provide her with a humid hide, and you're going to want to do that before and after she lays eggs, because I found that mine really likes to dig and kind of just like lays around after she lays eggs. So it's really helpful to have that kind of information and kind of know the personality of your gecko after they lay, because they always want to be comfortable, so you want to make sure that they're as comfy as possible in their environment, especially after they've just given you some eggs. So the last thing I do to prepare this deli cup is I just mark it with the date that it was laid so that I know when to expect the egg to hatch. You can do this just with masking tape and a marker, so it's pretty easy to do. Honestly, it's really helpful too. This is what your incubating deli cup should look like after you're done with it. That's really all there is to it, so stay updated and like and subscribe my channel to see more of these guys and more of my projects.